Hello and welcome back. It's so fantastic that you've joined me for this 5-day Beat the Bulge challenge. I'm so proud of you. I hope you're feeling good about yourself, but this is now for you to carry on. So I'm putting together a real-time flow of all the 11 or 12 exercises that I've shared over the last 5 days. So do this mindfully. If you haven't seen all of the more detailed videos, go back to the beginning of the playlist. I'll put a link up here, because when you're mindful and conscious about the things that you're doing and the effect they have on your energy body and your physical body, well, energy goes where the mind goes, where your attention goes. So the more you remember and understand and think about as you're doing it, the more impact these energy maneuvers will have. So this is about shifting your energy to rebalance your body so that your digestion is super boosted. You have the digestion of yourself as a teenager. You can eliminate toxins, eliminate cortisol. You've got room for all of your energy to flow. You're stretching your body so that energy flows naturally, and you're providing all of the right touches and acupressure massages to release toxins and get your metabolism working for you. So let's start. So let's first of all start with grounding. I like to just rub our hands together, making sure you're well hydrated up front. The more hydrated you are, the better these energy moves will work. Our hands are charged, and just put them here at the top of your thigh, spreading your legs hip width apart, and just being mindful at the moment, being grateful for your amazing body. Shut your eyes if you need to. Imagine the flow of energy going down your legs and out through the floor. Holding your hands here at the top of your thighs, grounding your energy so that your energy is working with you, and being grateful. Your body works with you when you love it, when you're so grateful for all the amazing things it does for you every day. So just call that to mind as you ground yourself. And now we're going to create some stretch and flow. So we're going to do what's called the heaven and earth, where your left hand is horizontal with the ceiling, the right is horizontal with the floor, and we're pushing that up. So we've got an amazing stretch. Looking up to your upper hand, to your left hand first of all, stretching every muscle in your body, feeling the energy flow. Energy needs space to flow. And we'll do the other side, stretching up, looking up to your right hand now, feeling the stretch across your back, and more importantly across your torso. And again on the other side, taking a deep breath, feeling every muscle stretch. This feels so amazing. It's always a great way to wake up in the morning. I love this exercise. You're literally connecting the heavens and the earth, and the energy is flowing through your upper hand, through your body, and going down to earth. So you're grounding and creating space. We're going to get the energy flowing across our torso. So this is where you put one hand around your back, grabbing all the way around to the front, the other around the front side of your chest. And we're literally pulling and raking as if you're screwing the top half of your body off the bottom half. And this is the belt flow. We're creating a flow of energy. Often when we sit down, our energy is pooling and puddling, and things in the center of our body are not working well, and your body is not connecting with your head. So if you start with your right hand across your chest, we'll now take the energy down the right leg, all the way down the right leg and off your foot, enjoying that stretch. And now we're going to take both hands up the inside of your big toe, behind the ankle, up the inside of your leg, across your groin, up to your armpits, and then down to that lower rib, doing a lovely tap. And that's inviting the energy of the spleen, your inner mother, doing this wonderful figure of 8 movement. Hope you can see what I'm doing. If you can't see any of this, please do go back and look at the detailed video. Now we're going to do the belt flow the other way. So my right hand is now crossing to my left hip. And we're pulling the energy all the way from my upper torso, through the belly button, through the lower hip area, the hips, going back up, the belly button, the upper rib cage, and just do that a couple of times before we take the energy down the left leg, grounding nicely, shaking that energy off, and then taking 2 hands from our big toe inside of the foot, behind the ankle, up the inside of your leg, across the groin crease, up to your armpits, and down to the lower rib, where you can either tap or do some wonderful figure 8s. So now we're going to shift on to the cortisol massage. So take your hands to your belly button, move an inch out and an inch down. I'm just going to do as deep and as hard as you can, circular massage with your fingertips in that point, an inch out and an inch down from your belly button. Breathing as you do so, breathing in through your nose. And this is releasing the cortisol, releasing the plumping and dumping hormone into your bloodstream. So do a good 30 to 60 seconds here. Really imagining, bring your imagination into this exercise by imagining that, picture a color if you like, you know, cortisol, let's call it, the cortisol is from stress, so let's call it a red light. Imagining you're bringing the red light, feeling the heat underneath your fingertips, and that's going into your bloodstream. So just smooth that now. And now we've got to release that cortisol to make sure that it doesn't end up back here. So we're going to put our hands out horizontally in fists, bring it out, up over our head, taking a deep breath in, and throwing it to the floor with a big whoosh. Again, breathing in and throwing it to the floor with a big whoosh. And again. Really shaking that out, shaking off the energy, shaking out the anger, shaking off the negative energy. And then one more time up over your head, and this time we're bringing it down slowly in a careful, considered shh. And now we want to make sure even more that we're eliminating, so it's in our bloodstream, we've released the cortisol. We're now going to do a side seam massage coming from your hip down to your knee. Using those finger pads again, we're just going to do a circular massage, a few seconds in each point as we work our way down that side seam. Making sure you keep breathing, because this is about getting the energy to flow, feeling comfortable, waking up the electromagnetic and subtle energies in your body. And that feels so good. I'm going to do it again, because elimination is so important. Once we've released the cortisol and released the toxins, we want to make sure they get in the loo and not get recirculated back up to be plumping us up again in that midsection. So fabulous. I do that regularly throughout the day, that particular massage. It's fantastic for constipation. It's fantastic to make sure you're eliminating effectively and your body is digesting, getting the nourishment and pushing the waste out. And now we're getting to the area where we're really boosting our metabolism. This is called the tummy circles. And we start off doing a gentle massage, spiraling out from our belly button. I'll do it as we talk. All the way out, covering our whole torso. We start gently and then we wind our way back in again. And now we're going to make it a bit firmer. I like to use the flat of my hand, as if you're starting to really massage the flesh. Getting nice wide spirals. This is creating, causing your muscles and your intestines to digest. Getting peristalsis, which is the movement that your intestines do when they when your food is being digested. And now we're going to do a really deep massage. So push your fingers in if you need to use both hands. and do almost, this is a massage of your intestines. So go as deep as you can. Sometimes it's easier when you're doing this directly onto the skin, or if you can't do it over your clothes, because I'm struggling with with something that's quite tight to my skin, you can literally go from the right hip, inside of the hip, using both hands and doing a massage down towards the groin, underneath the belly button, really giving it as hard as you can, and then up the left side. And you can start to hear the gurgling. That's a good sign, that's energy moving. Or you've got the third option, which is putting your hand a bit like a crab, and you're putting that like a cage over your belly button and pressing in with the other hand. And this is touching some really important acupressure points, the same points that an acupuncturist or an acupressure massager would use. And this is stimulating digestion. So this is super boosting your digestion. I do about 100 of these if I'm sat talking to someone on hands-free, or sat in a queue in the car, or stood up in any queue. So give that a good push to stimulate your digestion. You can do it after a meal as well if you've had a heavy meal and you want to get things going. So now we've got the most difficult exercise for me to show. It's called the tummy Hoover. I won't explain what we're doing, but literally this is about boosting your metabolism, hoovering the energy almost. So we're going to do a deep breath in where we're rounding our belly. Put your hands over your belly, breathe in, and then we're going to push it out. So breathe out as much as you possibly can until we're concave. And then all we want to do, I'm putting my hands here so you can see the movement, is we're flexing in and out with our belly muscles. We are not exhaling, so we're holding our breath. And it will exhaust you, and we'll do that 3 times. So breathe in and breathe out as much as you can. I don't know whether you can hear, that's actually creating a liquid noise as the energy is flowing through. The digestion is really working for you. So one more time, deep breath in and push it all out. It's really hard to do. I hope you get used to that exercise. It's very difficult to explain and show, but I hope you've understood that we don't breathe out and we're just pulsing the muscles in our belly. It's creating tone, it's pushing that food through, really boosting your metabolism. So now we're going to do the belly scoop, and this is where I rub my hands again to make sure we've got the energy in our hands. We put our thumbs to the center of our backbone, and then we're leaning forward. And we're literally going to pull the thumb towards the floor and do a whoosh again as we pull the sides of our, I'll show you, it's easier. We'll pull our hands forward like this to the floor. And as we do, we'll whoosh. And again, the imagination comes in here. Imagine you're literally pulling the debris, the toxins, the fat from your belly and throwing it onto the floor. The more imaginative, the better. We'll do that 3 times. Whoosh. 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 And now we're going to do the final exercise, the radiant spleen. So taking our hands from our waist here, directly opposite the waist on the back. And this is our Mingman point. And doing a nice rub, taking your hands down to your coccyx, back up to the Mingman point, over your hips to the pubic bone, and draw a central line up your chest, up to your face. Taking a breath there, and then taking your hands up over your head to your neck, grabbing hold of that taut trapezius muscle, giving it a knead or a massage, releasing tension, which also slows down your metabolism, and then coming down to your armpit, down the sides of your body, down the sides of your legs, and then off your foot. And then we're going to come up the inside from the big toe, behind the ankle, up the inside of your leg, across the groin, up to the armpit, and then we'll tap the lower rib cage. One more time, taking those hands to the Mingman point, taking it down to the coccyx, up, back over the hip bones, to the pubic bone, up the central line of your body, up your neck, over your face, grabbing that trapezius muscle, bringing it down to the armpit, the sides of your body, the sides of your legs, up the inside of your big toe, the inside of your legs, across the groin, up to the armpit, really exciting the spleen energy to get rid of all negativity, toxins, fat, negative thoughts. And then we're going to move one more time to the belly, to the Mingman point at the back, down to the coccyx, back up, over the hip bones, up the central line, up over our head, grab the trapezius, into the armpits, down the side seam, down the side of the leg, back up the inside of your legs, inside of your groin crease. And a wonderful tap there. Well done. We have all completed the 5-day challenge. It's super quick to do. Incorporate that into your day. When you do this in the morning, it's like lighting a fire to your metabolism. It's creating that energetic flow, connecting all the parts that need to connect. So your metabolism, your digestive system, and your elimination are working with you. No more cortisol, no more plumping and dumping. I'd love to hear how you get on. Please share this with other people who'd like to join the challenge and let me know how you get on. I challenge you to do this every day for the next 30 days. Do it before and an after, so that you can see the difference this is making. I promise you, you will absolutely notice it. Thank you so much for joining, and I do hope to see you again on my channel. Cheers, guys.